So what is your position regarding public versus private ownership of the city services such as utility and water?
Well, I'm a big supporter of private enterprise and free market solutions to a lot of our problems. However, I hate to see our assets let go if we can manage them properly within our own control in city government. So, you know, where I know that was considered a while ago to possibly privatize portions of the utilities. And I would like to learn more about that to see if that's feasible. But my number one concern would be to protect the users, that we don't see, you know, hikes in our rates and that. So other areas in the city where there might be opportunities to use private management to bring some of our assets back into the black instead of in deficit mode. For example, the golf courses or activities like that. If our private enterprises can work and put that in positive mode, I would be supportive of that.
I think it's important that when we look at decisions like selling our utility, that we look at the long-term value, just not the immediate short-term value. And if you looked at the utility, that was actually something that was bringing revenue into our city every year. And right now, what we need is more ongoing revenue streams just like that. So to me personally, selling the utility just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And so if I was in the council at the time, I would have voted against it had it come up, because honestly, it just didn't make any sense in the long term. And I think when it comes to our budget, that's what we have to start thinking about, is the long-term value. What is our ongoing revenue that's coming in? And we can't lose that. We have to keep our ongoing. So that'd be my point on that. Thanks.
Well, I agree quite a bit with Dan here. This is, you know, our utilities are an asset to our community. They make money for us. That's something we want to continue to do. But I also think that by having them under the control of the city, that does provide us with some security and safety in terms of rates. And the reason why is because the city council sets those rates, and you get to vote us in or out. You get to give an opinion of what you think about that. When it's a private market, when it's privately owned, then that opinion isn't going to weigh as heavy, because they'll be able to do what they want, and they'll be able to, you know, get profit off of the utilities. And so then it's not equally provided to all of us throughout the community. And I see that as another kind of second huge concern of looking at selling off a utility. I think it's kind of off the table now, but that would be how I would feel about it. Thanks.
In order for the city to sell the water and gas department, it requires a public vote. That's by city charter, which is our organic document, like the Constitution of the city. And the city vote has to be by 2/3. And so it's not really feasible to even consider selling the water and gas, because we can't get 2/3 agreement in the city on much of anything. However, last year, the mayor did create this Department of Road Construction. I did oppose that. We have 21 local firms that do road construction, and instead he hired people and made them city employees with city benefits to do road construction, and spent tens of thousands of dollars on equipment and teaching these people how to do it, only to lay them off for 2010 because we don't have the money to keep them there as a result of the casino money drying up. As far as some of the other ideas, the golf course, I'm not sure why we're in the golf course business, why we're spending your tax dollars on subsidizing golfers. The zoo, we did privatize. The Zoological Society was the only way we could do that. The steam plant, I'm pretty sure we're going to move that into private hands as well.
The utilities was a bad idea. I look at it as it gives very good rates to a lot of our citizens, and especially small businesses in downtown Duluth. On average, Superior pays about 10-12% more on their utilities with a private grouping in Superior Water, Light, and Power. So absolutely, I would not vote for that. A second thing with the water, as you say, there's a big controversy that brewed in the city of Atlanta, Georgia, that privatized their water system and the massive headaches they had. And a lot goes back to not being able to regulate it because it was with the private industry.
Right. Well, I grew up in Twig, Minnesota, out in the sticks, and I'm a hillbilly at heart. But what we did out there, we'd cut our own wood and heat our own house and split it every night. We'd go out and split wood. So it's different here in Duluth. I was kind of disappointed to find out when I first did go through the utilities that Comfort Systems is the only utility that you can use for heating your home. One thing with the utilities that I think they should make it so it's not a profit business. It should they should provide gas at a non-profit. And I don't think it's a good idea to sell the utilities because if it was privatized, it would be a monopoly. They can charge whatever they want, and I do believe a monopoly is illegal. So thanks.